question with regard to Ridley Scott. Do we think Ridley Scott is overrated? I forgot the name of the gentleman. I'm sorry. Don't have my notes with me. The gentleman with the rabbit, I think.
I'm TK, and here's my question. Recently, Jeff reviewed Hannibal, the Ridley Scott movie, and mentioned how he's not really a fan of Ridley Scott. And I got to thinking about it and said, you know what? I'm not really a huge fan of Ridley Scott either. So I guess my question is, what are each of your favorite Ridley Scott movies? What are your least favorite Ridley Scott movies? Do you think that Prometheus will help bolster his career again, give him another boost, or has his career kind of stagnated and is he actually coasting, like I sort of think? Anyway, thanks for your answer, and I look forward to it.
I think when Ridley Scott wants to and has the right casting, I think he's a hell of a filmmaker. I really do. I was extremely entertained with Gladiator. I think if he would have had a better lead in Kingdom of Heaven, it would have been almost a classic.
I think Kingdom of Heaven is terrific.
But I just think Orlando Bloom is a terrible leading man.
Yeah, he does.
But everything around Kingdom of Heaven, beside, is very good.
Yeah, I think
very
he's the
good.
only weak link. I do agree with you. But
Liam Neeson was good as the Knight.
I think Kingdom of Heaven, the director's cut, is one of his finest films. In fact, it's a huge improvement over Gladiator. It's a much better film.
David Thewlis is great.
Yes, and Edward Norton is actually very good in A Small
Edward Norton
World.
is the king, yeah.
Even though you don't see him, he could have just dubbed it, but he's actually playing the character. I have to say, Ridley Scott had a very unusual career. He started off very hot. You know, after he did The Duelist, he got Alien, was like a completely A-list director.
Duelist, by the way, is an awesome movie.
We reviewed that on our Revenge show,
Check
so check it out.
It's unique for Ridley Scott. Probably one of his best films.
And when you see this, if you can see how he's evolved, he's like I said, he started out with The Duelist. I don't know how the hell he got Alien directing The Duelist, but I'm glad they picked him because he did a phenomenal
We
job.
discussed The Duelist in our
Then he went on
our revenge films.
Then he went on to do Blade Runner. And unfortunately, that film bombed so badly that it actually did some damage to his career. He did Legend, and he did Someone to Watch Over Me. He did a lot of other films, and he disappeared for a while and just became like he was known for the guy who directed Alien and Blade Runner, but nothing else. Then he hit with Gladiator, and he became an A-list director again. I think he's capable of making good films. I think Gladiator was one of the weakest films ever to win Best Picture. I really don't think much of it, but Kingdom of Heaven I think is great. American Gangster actually has some good moments. The problem is that perfect. Remember when we were talking about the characters beefing up characters that don't need to be beefed up, like picking Pelham 1, 2, 3.
I actually like American Gangster. Actually, I was surprised at how much I liked it.
Now, if you like this view request segment, I actually had a good time discussing this stuff. It actually gives us ideas for topics, and it's actually a really good idea. But I would like you to actually ask us questions instead of suggesting topics, because we can actually go on a roll on that. Again, thank you for your questions. We hope to make this a regular feature. So if you have another question, keep them coming in. And if you can shoot them in HD, just respond to the appropriate this video that you're watching, and we will consider it for upcoming
You can
podcasts.
ask us more than one question too.
Yeah, just make it smart and try to make it quick and easy. Get it out there so because we want to. If you want to be on the CineFiles, we can't have a 3-minute video of you just boring us to death with something stupid. So ask it quickly and get it done, and we'll respond if we can.
It doesn't have to be HD if you don't have an HD.
If you don't have HD,
It's okay.
don't. You don't have to worry about it. But if you have HD, we like HD. HD is good.